Well, Dr. Neha Shah, welcome to Heart of the City.
Thank you for having me.
I'm so glad you're here. I mean,
I'm so happy to be here.
Amidst the busiest time in your life, you just had your third baby.
I did.
You're wrapping up maternity leave.
Yes,
You're
sadly.
trying to get back to your practice. I mean, you are in high demand right now from all angles, and I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you. You make me sound so glamorous.
Oh.
But really, it's just like a hot mess of a puzzle.
No, you are very glamorous doing all the hot mess things. And so, okay, you just had a baby. Like, what is life like for you? How is it going?
You know that saying, they say 1 is 1, 2 is 2, 3 is 1,600, whatever the number is. It feels like that.
Okay.
Especially the laundry.
Oh.
I don't know how can 3 little human beings create so much laundry?
It's insane. Well, especially a baby. They go through like 9 outfits a day.
Oh, and then they spit up on you, so you have the same 9 outfits
a day. Yeah, that's so true. Oh my gosh.
But honestly, it's been amazing. It's this beautiful chaos, and normally I would be freaking out. And if you ask Guru, my husband, he'd probably say, you're freaking out a little bit. But it just is, I'm so happy we did it.
That's so great.
We kind of teetered back and forth on whether doing a third or not. And now we have him. And I think, why did we ever think that this was an option? We should have just done it from the beginning.
That's so sweet.
He fits so well into the family.
So great. But but also the timing. It's like your girls are at like such good ages where they're like little helpers and they're a little more independent.
Yes.
Like, I definitely admire your age gap right now.
Well, it's funny that you say that because a lot of times my mom will say, why did you wait so long? They were getting independent and now you're starting all over. But I really do think it's created this perfect little... It just works.
Totally.
It works.
Your
I don't know how
dynamic
to
is
explain
sweet.
it, but it just works.
Yes. And you got the boy. I'm just so excited. You
And
get
he's
all the best
so
worlds now.
sweet. Yes.
Yeah. So
It's been
sweet.
So we've been really thriving, and I'm so happy we did it.
Oh my gosh. That is so great. Good.
It's been great.
Okay, let's see. So, okay, let's talk about BEAM, your beautiful practice.
Yes.
It's just like, I mean, motherhood will be weaved through this whole conversation because it's such a big part of who we are as working women.
It is, yeah.
But so pediatric dentistry is your niche.
Yes.
And okay, so when did you know you wanted to focus on peds?
I was probably pretty early on.
Okay.
I went into dental school, and I'm not going to lie. My second year, you start clinicals a little bit. And for the first 2 years, a lot of it is just pen and paper. And you're in school like you've been forever.
Yeah.
And then I started working on adults. And it's a student practice. And so you get who comes in the door.
Yeah.
And I did not have the most fabulous of first experiences as patients. So funny story, I actually made Guru, he had just moved to Boston at the time. I made him come in his car just so I could get in the car and make him drive away from school so I could cry so that my classmates wouldn't see me.
Oh my gosh.
And I looked at him and I said, I am not meant for this. This is not where I belong in life. And I had just... you don't know what you're doing, first of all. And then you have this person that just hates dentistry. And I'm thinking, why are we here?
So your patients would come, but they hated the dentist? And so that was just so...
And it was just, I thought, why am I sitting here cutting this crown? And then luckily, my very next rotation was through the Children's Hospital.
Oh,
and it was one of those things in life where you think, okay, this is where I'm meant to be. I'm meant to be with these little kids.
That's so sweet.
So then it was just immediately after that.
You were like, okay, I can do it again.
Yeah, I'm doing peds. That is going to be what I do. I loved the kids. I had a lot more patience for the kids than I did the adults walking through the door.
Totally.
So it all just kind of worked out. And
That's so sweet.
At that point, it just wasn't a question. It was just, I've got to get into pediatric residency, and that is what I'm going to do.
Have you always loved kids your whole life?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just a natural fit.
I just love kids.
Yeah.
I think they're so sweet.
Yes. And it is easier to have patience with kids than it is adults, especially when it's something like the dentist and it's like, hey, this is for you. So you're either going to just figure out how you can get through it or not, you know? But like with a kid, of course, like it can be scary and there are nerves and all the things.
100%.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. So if anyone knows BEAM or your office, I mean, the standout, of course, is the care and your team and how you guys serve people. But also your space is insane. I mean, just literally jaw-dropping. So talk us through that. Like, that was your vision. You really were at the helm of the design and how you wanted it to feel.
I knew, I just knew when I was opening my own that I was going to be able to pick everything. And I wanted it to be, I didn't want it to look like every other office. I wanted it to be comforting and homey. And I spend more time there than I do at my house. And I knew for me, space makes a big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, even here, it's just like you have these pillows and everything is so intentional. And I knew that I wanted a very intentional space. And a lot of my classmates were building out around the same time. And so obviously a big thing comes down to a big bank loan and, you know, you're buying all this equipment, which is expensive. And so a lot of my classmates thought I was crazy because you're already investing so much in these big x-ray machines and these fancy chairs that you have to have. And so decor oftentimes just becomes the last thing that they think about. And for me, I think I picked the designer who was going to help me before I picked my dental rep.
Wow.
Which was kind of unheard of.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of great places are popping up. And they were there. They were existing even when I was doing it. But I had never been through a space like mine. So it was a little
for adults
scary.
or for children.
Yes.
I mean, it just didn't exist in Chattanooga.
So it was a little scary for me to put that investment money in that position. But I'm so happy I did. And I honestly do think it makes a big difference, especially in the kids, to walk into something that seems a little more like a living room or, you know, a play area versus something that smells and looks and feels like a sterile clinical setting.
Or even is what most people would consider kid-friendly, but oftentimes can be really overstimulating.
So overstimulating.
All the colors, all the TVs on and the noises and the sounds and like all the toys that are doing things. It's
100%.
like that, you know, that might be what people knee-jerk think is like a kid's space, but it's kind of, that's intimidating.
No.
Yeah.
And especially after having kids and seeing how they react to spaces.
Yes.
Mine just don't do well when there's 100 things going your way.
No, I don't think that's how any of us were made.
No. It was all very intentional, and I'm just happy it was received the way that I was hoping it was received because it could have gone the other way very quickly.
Insane. It's amazing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, just every detail. It's like luxe, but it's so comfortable, like you said, and it is still kid-friendly in the sense that you have these beautiful play nooks and crannies and all these like special moments for the kids down at their eye level. I mean, it really was built for kids and for parents, which is a huge piece of being in pediatrics. Like you're serving both.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about that. So like who do you feel like is more brave in their chair, the parent or the child?
Oh, the child.
The child.
The child.
Yeah.
You know, like we talked about, I think kids are just this wonderful little being that you can sit and talk to them. And a lot of times the experience that they're having at our office is a first.
Totally.
And so we can really shape that experience. And then the poor parent, if they've come in and they've had a traumatic experience at the dentist, they're going to feel that for their kid.
I know.
And I completely understand if I'm nervous about something, my kids know.
Right.
And so I think it's hard. And for them, they're older. They've had those experiences. It's ingrained in them. It's hard to go backwards. But if I've got this cute little 2, 3, 4-year-old who's never been to the dentist, I have this opportunity. My whole staff has this opportunity to shape something that hopefully will be a positive experience. Not always, but we'll get them there.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think it's just, there's so much, I have a lot to work with and mold and create.
Right. Oh my gosh.
And if we do it just right, I feel like it hits exactly as it's supposed to.
It does. Like, I mean, you probably were like, Amy, you shouldn't be this surprised. But like when I brought in I think he was 1 when I first brought him.
He was teensy.
He was 1.
Yeah.
And, you know, at 1 is a little bit more that crux where like they're not fully aware yet. So I was like.
The element of surprise.
Exactly. I was like, okay, great. It went well. But this 2-year-old appointment, I was like bracing for impact because he's sensitive and he's nervous about things and he even gets scared of like sirens outside when he hears them right now. And he's like, scary. Are they coming for me? You know? So it's like, but the whole experience was like effortless and he loved it. And he laid there with his glasses on and like literally let you guys be in his mouth. Like he'll barely let me brush his hair. You know, it's like, what? I mean, it truly was, firsthand, I can say it was really incredible.
Thank you. You're a great example because sometimes it doesn't go that way.
I'm sure.
It doesn't always. But, you know, I really have to credit my staff. Even through this maternity leave, which I'm sure we'll get to, but they are honestly the backbone of my practice and they're incredible.
Such an extension of you, I bet. Yes.
You know, they just, I don't even know how to describe them. I'm so thankful for them. They're so wonderful and they have so much patience. And I think that's the biggest part of pediatrics is just you have to have a lot of patience.
Totally.
And you have to give them the time.
Yeah.
Because, again, going back to my kids, they're usually my best example of what not to do because I do it with them and then I know not to do it. But the second I tell my kids that we're in a rush and we have to hurry, it's game over.
Game over.
We're done.
The
I've lost
meltdowns.
it.
Yeah.
Yes, I've lost it. Lucky is like on the ground screaming.
Yeah.
Uma can't find her favorite sock.
Yeah. Oh, God forbid.
God forbid.
Yeah.
And that's, so I'm learning as I go.
Yeah.
But I do find that if we can extend those appointment times and we can be really patient and sometimes we might be stacked 4 deep, but the kid in my chair doesn't need to know that.
No.
They need to think that, okay, we've got this and we've got all the time in the world.
Yes. Oh, that's so sweet.
I think that my staff is really good at doing that.
That's so cool.
And they make it all turn the way it's supposed to turn.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So like with the child in mind and all the little things you guys have in place, was that just like your kind of learning through being a mom and just kind of research? I mean, how did you like come up with the ways in which you were really going to give the child as secure and seamless of an experience as you deliver?
So I think first and foremost, I was so lucky. I trained at the Children's Hospital in Chicago.
Okay.
And it was just 2 residents a year. So it was very
Wow.
tiny compared to other residency programs, but I fell in love with it. And so I got so much hands-on training
Nice.
there. And the instructors were phenomenal.
Nice.
And so I think a lot of it just stemmed from there. We did a lot of what we call in pediatrics behavioral management. So there are different forms of getting things done: behavioral management, sedation, general anesthesia. We've got a plethora of tools in our belt, but first and foremost, behavioral management is exactly what it sounds like. We are not using a medication to kind of sedate the kid. We're really just trying to talk them through it, figure out what works, how we're going to get this done. So Chicago really focused on that. And so I was lucky that I already had that tool in my belt. And then I practiced in an office in Nashville for a while. It was really fast-paced, but again, I had an amazing staff.
That's awesome.
So I was able to give the time. And I learned pretty quickly that if you slow things down for kids, they do so much better. So it all just kind of stemmed from there. And then post-kids, I learned so much from my kids.
Yeah.
I feel like I use them as an example constantly in my practice, and they teach you a lot.
Yeah, they really do.
They humble you.
Yeah.
They teach you a lot.
Sure do.
But I have a really big rule in my office that if I wouldn't do it to my kids, I'm not going to do it to yours.
Wow.
And I really stand by that. If I'm in the middle of a procedure and somebody is just not happy, I kind of think to myself, would I hold Uma down to finish this?
Wow.
Because if my answer is no, then I shouldn't be holding down someone else's kid to do the same thing.
No.
And I think it makes me it just makes me a better practitioner.
It does.
Because sometimes parents aren't happy with that answer, but I think that I just have to stick to something that's really important to me, and that value is really important to me.
Totally.
And so I think that they teach me a lot, and that's probably the number one thing. But so behavioral management was a really big thing. And then you just learn by example.
Yeah.
And sometimes you crash and burn.
Yeah.
And at the beginning, there are probably so many cases that I look back on and I think, gosh, I probably shouldn't have done it that way, or I could have done it
We all do
X,
that.
Y, and Z,
Totally.
And so you learn as you go.
Yeah.
And I've been so lucky to just be in good offices where I've been able to learn as I go. And
Nice.
now that I have my own, it's kind of fun to be able to make my own rules and not have to have someone hovering above me telling me what I can and cannot do.
Yeah.
So it's been a great experience, but
I'm sure.
Yeah.
So, okay, you practiced in an office in Nashville for how many years did you practice without it being your own practice?
So I was after dental school, you do a residency, which is 2 years. So I was 2 years in Chicago, a little bit longer than that. And then I was in Nashville for about 3.
Okay.
And then I had Uma. We were trying to decide if we were going to stay in Nashville or come to Chattanooga. And then if we went to Chattanooga, I had to decide if I was going to work for somebody or build my own. And at that point in my career, it was kind of I'm either always going to work for somebody or I'm going to take the plunge and start my own. And I think I had enough experiences in my past where I had worked at different offices and learned what I didn't love. And I also learned what I loved. And so I thought, if I'm ever going to do it, now's the time.
So great.
It was a blessing in disguise because we moved right before COVID hit. And so I had this beautiful little bubble of COVID, which I can't believe I'm putting those two words together.
I
but
get
I had
it,
this
though.
bubble where I could really spend the time to open a practice. You don't get an ounce of business at all in dental school. At least for me, I didn't really.
Of like business knowledge.
We got maybe a little like
Isn't that
visit guest
wild?
lecture every now and then, but it was wild. And it doesn't hit you because you're so busy doing so much other stuff that you have this huge gap. And dentists are small business owners.
Yeah.
It is just, that's how we run.
Yeah.
But we didn't know how to do anything. So during COVID, I bought a lot of books.
Wow.
I learned about insurance and payroll and all the things.
Oh my
But I normally wouldn't have gotten that because I
No.
think if I hadn't had the COVID bubble, I would have jumped into buying a practice or I would have tried to build as fast as I could, and I probably would have crashed and burned a lot more.
Wow.
And so I had this whole year of building out and getting to design and getting to learn how to run it and contract with insurance companies.
That is so awesome. And I bet your designer was like thrilled to have an awesome project to be working. You probably got a little bit more attention because of that timing.
They weren't
as busy maybe, or maybe they were. But I would think in COVID, a lot of us were like, grateful for the work we did have. And that's
well, the
awesome.
crazy thing is, again, going back, I hired them before I hired a dental rep. So here I am with this giant pen clone and a designer. No dental instruments. But, I had the space and the person to help me with it. And it wasn't COVID yet. It hadn't hit yet. So the plan was they were going to fly down a couple of times. They were going to help with the spaces. They were going to be really hands-on. Well, there that goes. So then
they got shut down.
Yeah. So then I became the project manager. Again, zero construction background.
Oh my gosh.
And so I'm FaceTiming through trying to make sure everything is measured and mapped. And you know how particular it can be. And, And so they came the week before I opened to deliver the furniture that had been delivered to their warehouse.
That was the only time they had come?
That was it. That was it. And I thought, oh my gosh, I really hope that whatever they needed me to measure was right because
oh my gosh,
I just spent $3,000 on drapes and they might not fit.
Oh my gosh, that is wild.
Yeah, but it worked out. They were amazing and it all worked out.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so did you already have Lucky?
No,
By the time you opened? You were pregnant with Lucky when you were opening.
So I opened in March of 21 and I had her in May.
Wow.
That was not the plan. We were supposed to open like everybody else during COVID.
Correct.
We were supposed to open months before.
Yeah.
We were slotted to open in the summer of 2020.
Wow.
And we didn't open until almost 9 months later.
Oh my gosh.
So, surprise, here's this baby.
Oh my gosh. That is wild. Yeah. Okay, so when you decided to start your practice, you already had Uma.
Mm-hmm.
Did anything about becoming a mother give you pause in that? Like even just in working in general, did you ever rethink being a working mom once you became a mom?
That's funny that you say that because I feel like when I had Uma, I was so knee deep in the build out that I didn't really think about it. And again, I had
So
COVID,
you were already in the build out.
so I was a lot more flexible.
Okay.
She was, my two were only 20 months apart. So Uma was still little when I was building out during COVID. And again, this beautiful moment of I normally would have been working full time.
Yeah.
And I was able to be home with her for so much longer than I thought.
Yeah.
And construction meetings and equipment purchasing. I just take her with me.
She was just along for the ride.
Yeah, she just came with me everywhere. And so, I was so knee deep into it. And then I had Lucky in May. And I panicked because I had taken out this big loan. I had just opened this office. My assistant that I started with moved from Nashville to Chattanooga for me.
Wow.
So obviously I just felt like
responsibility.
I had so much responsibility and I had just spent all this time and effort building out this amazing practice. And so I only took 4 weeks with Lucky.
Wow.
But again, I think I was so knee deep in it. I didn't give myself the opportunity to think through what had just happened.
Right.
And so I just felt like it was normal, which it is not.
Yeah.
And looking back, there's not much I regret in my life. Mm-hmm. I definitely regret that time. Mm-hmm. Not saying that I'm so happy that I went back to work. I'm so happy I was able to build this. but I missed so much.
Yeah.
And Lucky will never remember. She's never going to remember that, but I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
And, that was kind of the reason when Love, my third, came about. I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. I want a third, but I cannot do that again.
Wow.
And so I was so lucky. Guru was so supportive. My office manager, Kayla, who has just basically become my right-hand woman, she's such a dear friend. She really helped encourage me to take the full 12 weeks.
Wow.
She worked the schedule to do it.
Oh.
Guru was so hands-on, and he jumps in so that I can have it. The pediatric dental community in Chattanooga has just blown me away. They have so many have helped me with emergencies and sent me emails to say, if you need help, I'm here.
Oh my gosh.
I've had 2 offices in particular, Early Roots and Splash Smiles, who have literally taken emergency patients off of my schedule so that I didn't
have to go in.
Oh
my gosh.
And it's not even that I don't want to see those patients. I wanted to help them.
Yes.
But it's like, okay, I literally am still in the hospital.
Or I'm going to be pumping and breastfeeding or whatever that looks
I don't
like.
have somebody to take care of my 2-week-old. Where do I put my 2-week-old?
Correct. Yeah.
And so I've had so much help. And it literally took a village for me to get 12 weeks. And my staff now, it's not just one person. Like when I started with Lucky, I've got a full team and they depend on the office.
Totally.
And so very early on, Kayla knew. So Love was IVF. So I had a little bit of planning and
nice.
And I had all that information. And again, Kayla helped me kind of navigate how to do IVF while running a practice.
Wow.
And so she, as soon as we found out that my embryo had taken, I told the staff and I told them, I said, I will take care of you. So I paid them the full 12 weeks.
Wow.
But it was one of those
Neha.
things that from the day I found out that I was having this baby, I just kind of set a little aside every time.
Oh my gosh.
And I just wanted it to all work and I wanted to keep my staff and
Okay, so your office has been closed.
they're there every day.
They're there.
I'm just not there.
So who are they seeing? How's it working?
So they cannot see patients without me.
Wow.
So again, my village that's been helping me, one of our dear friends is a hygienist, and she can see some patients who need to be seen.
Oh.
And I can read all of my x-rays remotely.
Yeah, yes.
So she tag teamed with me and saw patients that we didn't get to right before I had the baby.
Wow.
And then that sweet dental rep who I didn't hire until after my designer.
Oh my gosh.
His son is a dentist. And he's been helping me.
How nice.
Yes. So
oh my gosh.
staff is there to field emergency phone calls or if I need to go in for anything. But
oh my gosh.
I've turned this, we're 5 years in now. So they literally have just scrubbed and organized and repainted, and it looks like a brand new office.
Sure.
It looks so good.
That's so nice. They're like, what else can we be working on? That's so sweet.
And they've been amazing. And I looked at them that day that I found out I was pregnant, and I told them, and I said, I promise I will take care of you. I promise you'll be taken care of. Just please don't leave me when I come back at 12 weeks.
Exactly.
And they've been phenomenal.
Good.
And I know, I'm sure they're sitting there thinking, when is this lady coming back?
No.
But they've
that's
been amazing.
Wonderful.
And,
good for you.
I would do it all over again. The 12 weeks has been wonderful.
I'm so thankful for you. That's just so
too.
wonderful.
Thank you. It's been awesome. But literally it has taken a village, and it's been so nice to have it.
Yeah. And what a great learning from, I can understand and just feel like your mom guilt or whatever you want to call it around the Lucky situation. I get it. I totally do. I feel like, Sally and I had babies at similar times throughout, and we did some of that. It was like the second time around, it was just different, and it is really crazy how once you live it, and then as we get older, and, I can imagine like considering the third, you were like, I know I'll want to do it different. Like that's just so cool that you just carved that out and you were in a place where you could. And that's just so commendable.
It really has been so nice, and I'm glad that I did it.
Yeah.
It took me probably a good 4 weeks of being at home to just kind of
I know,
settle.
I bet.
But I'm so glad I did it.
Yes. Well, and it's crazy as business owners, like, you can say like everyone's replaceable or this or that, but like especially in your industry, like you can't just like, out of office, go be with these, or like this person, go take care of it. Like you're the dentist and the owner of the practice.
Well,
like,
that's another big thing that I think doesn't get discussed or taught or anything, but being a female solo practitioner, it doesn't have to be practitioner, female solo business owner,
Right,
anything,
right.
insert whatever that business may be.
Right.
And especially in dentistry, or even with you with a Scout Guide,
Yeah.
it doesn't run if you're not in the
Yeah.
office. And so it is just, it's this big gap in life.
It
I mean, don't
is.
even get me started on maternity leave in the United States in
I
general.
know.
But
Lordy.
it's just this big gap that I think as females are now taking more time to create their businesses and
Totally.
and having children while they're doing that, it is definitely being addressed a lot more. But yeah, I finally looked at myself in the mirror one day and I thought, wait a second, I'm not there. Nothing runs. What am I doing? What did I do? I had this panic like mid-pregnancy, and I had known it was happening the whole time, but
it just different.
Hits you when it gets closer.
Yeah, it really does.
And you just panic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so Love is almost 3 months.
He's 8 weeks.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you still have a few weeks.
Almost 9 weeks, actually.
Okay. So how's it feeling? Like starting to come to the tail end of the maternity leave? Like, are you ready? Are you feeling ready to get back into the office? Are you feeling nervous or sad? Like, give us the.
I think I'm feeling all the emotions, everything.
Yes.
I'm so excited to get back to my patients. I'm excited to be back with my staff full time, but I kind of love just our little bubble.
I know.
It's been so nice. I have so much time with the girls. We're finally getting to this routine. Like we've gotten, knock on wood, past the time of completely no sleep.
Yes.
And so I feel like I'm just now hitting my stride, only to go back to the chaos to figure out a new schedule. So I am excited. I'm a little sad. I'm definitely, it puts it into perspective with how am I going to juggle this and what am I going to do?
Yeah.
And I'm looking for another dentist to hop on and help me.
Good for you.
And that way we can kind of figure out this perfect world where I do have a little time at home.
Yes,
I
that
do
would be
have time with my
great.
patients.
Oh, that would
so
be
hopefully
really
it'll
great.
all come together. But
Yes.
all the emotions.
Yeah.
Talk to me in like a week and a half when it's getting closer, and I'll just be
I know, I'm
boo-hooing.
sure. It's going to be a roller coaster.
Yeah.
Did you always see yourself as a working mom? Or even as a mom? Did you always see yourself as a mom?
I knew I always saw myself as a mom. I've always loved kids. I've always loved babies. I always joke with Guru that if we had started younger, maybe I would have ended up with 6. And he's like, hold on a second. But I think I didn't grow up with a working mom.
Okay.
My mom stayed at home. And so it was strange because my parents immigrated from India. So in their mind, my dad's job was their livelihood, like everything. And to be honest, they probably couldn't have afforded my mom to work once kids were in the picture because they just had to figure out who was going to keep the kids.
Yeah.
And, my dad was doing his residency, so not making much, but trying to figure all that out. So I didn't grow up with my mom working, but all that being said, their main goal was just to do the best that they could for my brother and I. So they always made sure, we went to the best schools that they could afford. They always made sure that we were on top of our work and we had goals in mind. And so it was never a question growing up in the household that I was going to have a job, some sort of profession to kind of make sure I was supported and make sure that I could take care of myself. And so that was never really a question. It's funny because I look back and I think if I didn't have that, would I have ended up in healthcare? I don't know. And that's a question I often ask myself. Because in Indian culture, especially, healthcare is something that is stable. So you get a job as a doctor or a dentist, or, you have this job that you can count on and that you can make sure you're making income on. And so I think that was always hammered in my house.
Yeah.
And I wonder, I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder if I would have done something differently. But I think being a working mom was always kind of programmed into me. Especially as I got friends into elementary school and high school, and most of my friends are working moms, and so I think we just create this little gang.
It's so cool,
and you have this culture and community, and so I don't think that was ever a question for me.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So what do you think if it wouldn't have been like money and drive and self-supporting? What would you do in a different life, in a different career?
I think about that a lot because as I get older and hopefully have a little more time, I'm hoping to have some sort of passion project. And my mother-in-law actually asked me that this morning. She said, "What do you think you would do?" Oh. And my silly answer which in my mind, obviously it doesn't seem silly to me. It's such a big thing. But I want to do something where I intentionally get dressed every day because I live my life. So I love to work out. So in the morning, I'm in my workout clothes. Then I go home and I put on scrubs. Then I come home again and I put on pajamas.
Yeah.
And for me, clothing is a big part of how I express myself.
You're so stylish.
And that is my art. Like
Yes.
I love to put together an outfit. And I'm realizing that I don't
get to do that.
do it.
Yeah.
And so my mother-in-law asked me and I said, I want to do something where I am intentionally getting dressed every day.
That's so cool.
Whether that be I'm personal shopping for somebody or
I could see you being in fashion.
It would be so fun. And I think that with the right push and maybe the right connections, maybe I would have.
I love it.
But I don't know.
Oh
Something
my
like that.
gosh. In your industry and in the pediatric dentistry realm and really pediatrics in general, I feel like being good with kids should just be like baseline as a practitioner.
Yes.
But I don't think that's always the case. Like what really is that? Do you think people just fall into it because or
I think peds is a very intentional track because like I said, you go through dental school
Yes.
and then you can practice right after dental school. So taking that step to pediatrics is very intentional.
Right.
You do a 2-year program and you take a whole series of boards that's only catered to pediatrics.
Right.
So I feel like that initial step should be very intentional. I think unfortunately a lot that happens is, you can become jaded doing it over the years.
Yeah.
And
you get tired.
You get tired or you realize, so at BEAM, I'm very, very particular about appointment length.
Okay.
So my operative appointments, crowns, fillings, all the things, they're an hour. New patient appointments are an hour. I might have a 2-year-old that takes me 10 minutes. So it's 50 minutes of wasted clinical time, wasted potential production money.
Yes.
And I think that if you need to run this practice and you've got to hit this number, it's easy. Oh, I shortened the 2-year-old's appointment to 10 minutes. Well, I can get 5 2-year-olds into this spot. And I can make that crown in 30 minutes. Let me get another crown in that hour. And then all of a sudden this dentist is running to 6 different chairs in that 1 hour that could have been 2 patients. And,
wow.
And is that dumb of me? Maybe. And am I losing a lot of potential income? Probably. But I think there's a balance between the two. And I think that, again, when you work for somebody or you don't have a choice in the matter, you're running 6 chairs at once and it's tiring. You're exhausted. You just don't have the time to sit and talk to a parent or the kid like you normally would. And I made it very intentional that I want to see every single parent as long as they want to see me. And I may waste 50 minutes of an appointment, but honestly, I end up probably using most of it and they need it.
Right.
Again, going back to the kids do so much better when everything is slowed down. And so I think sadly, they become jaded. I don't think they go in to pediatrics thinking, I hate kids, but I'm going to do this anyways.
Yeah, that seems,
I think it's just, I'm tired and I don't have the time to sit and talk to this person. And so I think, unfortunately, that becomes what happens to the offices.
Totally.
And
I could see that for sure.
yeah.
What do you feel like's been the biggest challenge of owning your own practice?
Aside from learning the business side, which I had no idea how to, oh, goodness. I think it's managing a staff.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like I want to be everybody's friend. And sometimes it's hard.
Yes.
Not saying that you have to be mean or you have to be bossy, but it is sometimes hard being the one to have to make the decisions or that they look to make the decisions. And going back to maternity leave, I just felt this weight of I am supporting these people's families in a one way or the other. And I just feel so much responsibility.
Right.
And it's not something I had ever done. And when you work in somebody else's office, the staff, you don't have to be the person that manages them.
No.
I can be their friend and only be their friend.
Right.
And in this situation, I'm so lucky. My staff is phenomenal and I still can be their friends and they're so respectful of me telling them things that need to get fixed and finished and the way I like to do things in my office. But it's It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, that is a big transition for sure. Yeah. Okay, when a family leaves BEAM, what do you hope they feel? What do you hope they say? Other than like, oh, that went well or whatever. What do you hope they walk away with?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that in kind of a roundabout way. But one of the best compliments that I get is when parents will email or text a video of their kid pretending to be Dr. Neha or pretending to play the dentist at home.
That's so cute.
And to me, I just feel like it's the best compliment that we can get, because not only did the parents have a positive experience, but the kid liked it so much that they're pretend playing at home. And it's not a scary thing. Normally, the dentist is a really vulnerable place.
Yeah.
You're laying in a chair.
Yeah.
Everybody's on top of you. There's a lot of light. There's a lot of noise. And for them to leave that experience and still want to talk about it at home is so nice. So that's probably the biggest compliment. Obviously, not every family is going to go home and text me that, but I do hope that when they leave, they feel like they got what they wanted. Obviously, they came for the health aspect of it, but I hope that they leave with such a positive experience that they want to come back and that they want to tell their friends about us. And that's honestly the best review that I can get, is when somebody comes into my office and they say, well, so-and-so, they had 12 cavities and they loved you.
I mean,
because who wants to hear from me that your kid has 12 cavities? Nobody.
Yeah.
And I hate telling people that.
Yes.
But I think that
you can still make it great and okay.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I will make it okay for you.
Yes.
I hope.
That is so sweet.
Yeah.
Okay, let's kind of wrap it up with just some good tidbits of like knowledge for those of us with kids who have, know we need to get in there and get to the dentist or take care of our kids' teeth or whatever it looks like. Okay, so what age is ideal to bring them to you?
So we like to see them by their first birthday or within 6 months of their first tooth.
Okay.
So typically around that 1 year mark.
Okay.
A lot of that, honestly, is parent education.
Yeah.
But we can do a lot of preventative work if we start early. And a lot of things that, if you come see me at 4 for the first time, there's a lot of stuff that maybe we could have done in the first 4 years to help slow down what we're seeing. But also, like you said, the first, when they're younger, we're a little stunned.
Yeah.
So they're happy.
Yeah.
And then that gives us a good window to really make them feel comfortable.
Totally. It's like getting that comfortability early on does probably really help.
And the more they see our faces, the more it is. If I have some kids, we see a lot of special needs, and sometimes we need to see them for 2 minutes 12 times a year instead of twice a year for the hour.
That's so
and so
true.
I think if that starts early, it makes a world of difference.
That's so sweet.
So by their first birthday, we love to see it. If you're later than that, that's okay too. We'll get them there, but it's nice to establish early.
That's so sweet. Are you a passy mom? How do you feel about passies?
So I'm pretty lenient when it comes to a passy. Now, in all honesty, the 3 of my children did not ever have a passy.
Okay.
But a pacifier or any non-nutritive sucking habit, so thumb, a toy, the blanket, whatever it is, a kid's body is so resilient. And so if you can get rid of that by 3, any changes that you see will self-correct.
Okay.
So if it protects your psyche to have a passy or something to comfort the patient, do it.
Yeah.
Do it. You have to sleep.
Right.
You're not scarring them for life.
Right.
We will help you get rid of it. We have all the tips and tricks.
Nice.
So I'm pretty lenient when it comes to a pacifier.
Okay.
And guess what? Most of my patients are going into ortho. So if you don't get rid of it by 3,
it's okay.
You're going to be doing braces anyway.
Exactly.
So just get the sleep.
Yeah, it's so true. Yeah. Peace of mind.
Peace of mind. There's no reason to traumatize. Honestly, I think it traumatizes the parents more than it does the kid to get rid of the passy.
Absolutely.
So just take that peace of mind and we'll fix it.
Yeah. So great. What are like other little tips and tricks you feel like either parents are surprised by? They're like, oh, I didn't know that was maybe bad. Or, what are some of those things that you hear or see?
So 2 of our biggest things that we see that parents don't, even Guru didn't think about as a dad. But kids' medicines have a lot of sugar in them because you have to get them to take it. And your instinct is, if you're giving Tylenol or Motrin or Benadryl or the antibiotic that you have to give 4 times a day, you think, okay, I'm going to give it to them right before bed. It'll kick in. They'll sleep really well. But then they're sleeping with that sugar in their mouth. And if you think about it, Tylenol, Motrin, you're not giving every day. But an antibiotic, if you're having to give it, you're giving it for extended periods of time. And it's enough to create a lot of cavities. So I always tell parents, if you're giving a medicine, give it and then brush.
Nice.
Or give it with a meal. Never give it and let them sleep on it if you can help it. Because it's a high sugar that sits in your mouth. It's the same thing with milk or juice or anything like that. A lot of kids, when they're little, they still need a bottle right before bed because they need the calories. But one easy switch of bottle brush or bottle wipe your teeth, it makes a world of difference. And I do find that if they need the calories, you give the bottle and you brush them. If they still need the bottle, it's not for calories. It's probably because they love the comfort of the bottle.
Right.
Fill it with water.
Right.
Let them have it with water.
Totally.
Or give them the passy.
Yeah.
But not letting something sit on their teeth for extended periods of time makes a world of difference.
Yeah.
So those are probably my biggest 2 tricks. And that's what I tell parents at that 1-year-old appointment to try.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, the question we always end with, I need you to fill in the blank.
Okay.
The heart of BEAM is?
Oh my goodness. We have so many hearts. If I had to pick one, I know I've said it 100 times, but it's my staff. But it wouldn't be BEAM without the amazing patients that I have. And they're honestly, they've become like family, both things.
So sweet.
Yeah. So
I love
staff,
it.
patients, both. I can't pick.
I love it. Well, you are rocking all the things out, motherhood, business ownership, just
Talk
everything.
To me at 4 a.m.
Oh, I mean, I'm right there with you. So honestly, text me. Well, thanks for being on.
Thank you for having me.
So proud of you.
Thank you.